I wanted to say thank you for coming out and making it through all the crazy weather and crazy times. I've told a couple of people we've probably booked this. They had a cap for this event. This is an educational event. It took quite a bit to get the logistics put together for this. With considering the times right now. So anyways, I'm really excited that we were able to put this together and that you guys were able to make it. Tonight I'm going to be the host and speaker. We've got some really good content for you guys that I'm excited to share. I'm going to go through a little bit of my background, who I am and what I'm about, and then we'll dive into some topics that I think are going to be important to navigate. So we'll go ahead and get started. I want you guys to feel free to get up, use the restroom. The drinks are going to be here the whole time. We're going to take a break. You'll have an opportunity to network a little bit. I would really strongly encourage you to try to meet some people. The people in this room are some of the brightest people I know, and some of the most successful people I know as well. And I would love for you guys to get to know each other, and that's a goal for tonight as well. I believe that the food will be out the entire time as well, so you guys are free to get up and grab something to snack on. You won't offend me at all. So we're going to dive into the purpose of this group. I sent a couple text messages and a few emails to you guys about what this is all about. Benjamin Franklin created a group called Junto, and I've heard it said a few different ways, like Gento, Junto, Junto. I'm not sure what the right way to say it is. Supposedly it comes from a Spanish word. But anyways, he created a group of business owners and shopkeepers and all kinds of different people from different backgrounds, shoemakers, cabinet makers, that they brought together to discuss different topics. And an area that I feel I'm fairly strong in is business, and so my background is a lot more in that area. But I'd love to be able to bring your guys' backgrounds in and be able to play off of those as well. So he talked about a lot of different topics. They created a local hospital. They ended up creating a fireman, actually like a fireman club or group that volunteer firefighters that would go in and tackle fires. During that time, it was a big deal. So those are some of the cool things that they were doing. Obviously my focus is more business orientated, but I also want to try to tie in as much as we can the community side as well. So through this, we're hoping to encourage mental, relational, spiritual, and financial growth through sharing of experience and knowledge. And it's a mutual benefit. So as we discuss things, we're going to, today's is going to be a little larger, obviously a little larger event. There's not going to be a ton of time to round table and talk back and forth, but future events there may be a lot more time for that. So part of it's the reintroduction of this group. There's a number of you that have been in the mastermind that we had about 3 or 4 years ago. So I think for you, it's all probably pretty familiar, but for the new ones, this is basically a relaunch of that group. I've got 2 rules. Our goal is we don't want to fight, and we don't want to try to have victory over others. So if somebody's bringing up a subject or a topic, or they're telling you their ideas or their thoughts, I don't want anybody to try to belittle one another in their ideas or what their thoughts are. So our goal is to encourage each other and grow. So we're going to go into a little bit of my background. So a few of you know kind of my history, but I want to dive into those that don't. I was born and raised in Spokane, Washington. I grew up in a Christian family, very conservative family home. I remember as a young child, we weren't allowed to listen to any radio station other than 107.9. And if anybody knows what that radio station is, it's the most boring radio station on the radio. But yeah, we were only allowed to listen to 107.9. And then movies, I remember we went to, has anybody seen Castaway? Anybody seen Castaway? Yeah? I got grounded for 3 months for going to Castaway. If you watch that movie, it's so long and boring, and there's nothing going on. Especially as a kid, it was really long and boring. So, I actually never went to school. Some people didn't. Some people know that. Some people don't know that. I didn't go to elementary school, kindergarten, junior high, high school. I skipped the whole school thing. And imagine somebody kind of locking you up in a cave and saying, "Hey, you take rocks, smash." That was a little bit of what my childhood was like. We did not didn't do a lot of socializing until I got into CYT. I met John there, and is there anybody else from CYT? Anyone else? No. Yeah, just John. But anyways, it was still not super social, but yeah. So I started working in the family business. My dad started his company probably right around the time I was about 5 years old, and we jumped in right away. We started stuffing envelopes, and we had semis backing up to our house, unloading entire semis into our living room and our spare bedrooms, our hallways, our entryways, and sometimes even out on the front porch. It was insane. My dad was a hustler. He really made things happen, and so as a kid, that was what I did most of the time. It was stuffing envelopes, get a break, go outside and do something, and then come back in and stuff some more envelopes, and then go back out and do it again. And as I got older, by the time I was about 10 years old, I was working. I was a full-time team member operating equipment, running machines in the shop, and it was pretty consistent. But we still call it seasonally because there was times where it was a little bit slower and I wasn't required to be there. So I didn't do that. I wasn't always there. When I was about 11 or 12, I was a full-time employee, a minimum of 40 hours a week, pushing 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, working all-nighters. I remember getting coffee all night long to be able to, at about 11, 12, to be able to stay up and keep the printers running. I remember Stanford was one of the clients that we were working with, and I remember running those, and Washington Trust Bank, and all those different customers we had going through the night. By the time I was 15, I was the production manager at the company, which was managing a small team at that time, about seven or so people, eight people. It was really difficult to manage people at that age. I was an asshole. It was just, if people weren't performing, weren't doing a good job, I was, why? How can you? You're twice my age. How can you not know how to do this? And I didn't make very many friends at the beginning, so it was tough. I had to learn a lot through that. And then by the time I was 17, I believe it was right around 17. Oh, it was 16. Let's go back to 16. So when I was 16, I got my driver's license, which was awesome. But at about 15 and a half, 16, I was doing driver's ed. I failed every single module. They would take a test at the end of the end. I think it was 9 weeks or something like that, 10 weeks of driver's ed. I failed every single test. I did not make it through one of them. I had to stay after. It took me it was like an extra half hour every night because I couldn't comprehend the text. I was a terrible reader. Very good with my hands, very good on the floor. I could do anything, but when it came to reading, I struggled a lot. I still don't know if I'm dyslexic or not, but I've mustered my way through it, so I'm doing pretty well now. But at the age of 16, I wasn't able to read. So getting my getting through the driver's exam was extremely difficult. The teacher stayed late with me each night and would read the content to me and then ask me the questions, and I would answer correctly because I knew how to drive. I was driving at 13, about 2 o'clock in the morning, driving through neighborhoods, and we'd take fire extinguishers, pop the door open, and pretend like we were on fire. It was awesome. We even grabbed gas tanks and dropped gas and then lit it and then and then drove off. We had the fire extinguisher. It was cool. But so I knew how to drive pretty well. By the time I made it through to the class, I aced. I got 100% on all my drives. So very, very good with my hands. I could definitely drive, but getting through that test was kind of horrifying. So by the time I was 19, I was the general manager of the company, in charge of right around 50 people, and it was a big struggle to be given that much responsibility and still have some maturing to do. So. This is all related to my exposure time at the Master's Touch. So we'll go through those. So born in Spokane, Washington. Started working at 5. 19 years old, I got my first house. I purchased a house on East Ostrander, and this is the Butte. A few of you guys recognize it. This is actually the listing photos from the time I purchased the house. It was a flip. The guy had bought it for 30-something thousand and then fixed it up and sold it to me for 115. He got some good money on it. The day after I moved in, the toilets and sinks and everything and the tub backed up, and we had to dig out underneath the house. We had to go underneath this back porch. I had to dig all the way underneath it and expose the pipes so I could reroute it. I don't know how it ever functioned before me. So I've moved around a lot. I've lived in 16 addresses. I've got two more addresses under contract right now. And we'll be living in both of those, our plan is. So moved around quite a bit. I love cars. I've had 24 vehicles so far. This is my first baby. I wrecked that about a week after I got my license. I was shaving and trying to get a shortcut, so I shot across. I took a kind of a roundabout and ended up getting T-boned and totaled the car. Got this guy, decked it out, put new leather seats in it, got a new headliner in it. I got a paint job on it. I put a beautiful sub in there. It was a sweet ride. Ended up falling asleep on Valentine's Day and wrecked it. And got this baby, freshly painted. It was awesome. I got rear-ended and broke the steering wheel with my hands. I don't know. I still don't know how that was possible, but got this baby. I played bumper cars at 40 miles an hour with this. Literally, we were a buddy of mine, and I were racing home, and so he was trying to pass me, and so he kept tapping the back of my car, and then I would tap his car, and it was insane. I can't believe we lived through that. This baby caught on fire. This one got broke into 5 times, the same window, 5 times. I don't know how that's even possible. I'm not joking, 5 times. Got this one and spun around on I-90 and wrecked it. It was bad luck, so we got this one. Yeah, this is a beautiful car. Never wrecked it. It was awesome. I pretended I was a cop. I would get. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. They have cop apps, so you can change your screen of your phone to be a cop, and it'll flash red and blue, and I think it's red, blue, and white, and it'll just flash just like a cop. So we get 2 cell phones, drop it up in the front windshield, and then just haul up behind somebody, and then they would just dive. We had one person ended up in a ditch. I feel bad about that, but it was a lot of fun. this little Ford Probe. Had to swap the motor on that one. Got rid of that, and then traded this baby for this one. And on the way home, I purchased it. I'm coming home. It's just day just like today. Coming from Seattle, picked it up at Northwest Motorsports and rolled it on I-90. Yeah, so it had TVs in the back. It had sunroof, leather. It was the coolest thing ever. So and ended up getting this guy. Had that one for quite a while. Ended up, my wife and I were at a gas station. We had our little baby. Our baby was 3 months, right around 3 months, I think. 3 months old, and he's in the back seat. My wife's mad at me. I did something wrong, so I'm going around to the side of the car. We had stopped at the gas station on Division, right next to, kind of like next to Blaze and Chipotle and stuff like that, right in there. It's like, I think it's like nine lanes of traffic. Anyway, so I go around to the other side of my car. I'm talking to my wife, and I'm trying to, say I'm sorry. Like, hey, I know I made you mad. Can we kiss, make up? And so I lean in to kiss my wife, and all of a sudden I hear this tink tink, and it sounded like the gas pump handle fell out of the car, and I was like, how did the gas pump fall out of the car? Like, I know I put it in. I look up, I look through the windows, and there's a guy on the other side of the car lighting the gas on fire. He's pumping gas. He pulled the handle out, was continuing to pump gas, lit the gas on fire, and then started dumping it all over my car. The whole entire side of the car, the driver's side, from the bed of the truck to the hood, was dumping fuel all over the top of the car. And was continuously lighting it on fire. I ran to the back. I told my wife to run inside to the gas station. I went to the back and started ripping on the car seat to get the kid out of the car seat. And I don't know if you've ever been in that, like, flight or fight kind of mode, but like I was ripping on that thing. I probably like destroyed the back seat when I was ripping on it trying to get my son out, and got my son out, and we ran inside. The attendant hit the stop switch, and the guy ended up terrorizing some other people at the place. I had ran there, and then he took off, and the fire department ended up shutting down the entire. When they came, it was a parade of, there was seven or eight fire trucks. It was epic. Anyway, so. Got rid of that one, and then got my CBR. This is a CBR F4i. That was a beautiful bike. But if you've ever had a bike and it's like perfect, this one was perfect. It was sitting in a. I think it had 2,000 miles on it when I bought it, and it was like 6 years old. It was sitting in this guy's barn. And when he pulled it out, the thing just glistened. It was perfect. There was not one scratch on the entire thing. It was amazing. At that house that I showed you, the Ostrander, we had a gravel driveway. And so I pull into my driveway, and I'm still kind of a new bike guy, and hit the front brake. And anybody that knows is laid it down at 0 miles an hour. and here's my perfect bike that's now got scratches on it. I was like, nope, got to get rid of it. So I got this one, and picked up that bike. It was a beautiful bike. I laid that one down at some point. And then this was actually my wife's car. When we met, this is what she was sporting. This thing had some battle wounds. She wrecked it, I think, like at least 6 times while we were together. Somehow she didn't total it, though. Like, she would just hit everything. Like, neighbor, her cousin's car. Like, I think she ran in my car. She hit the pole at our building. I don't know. It was crazy. So got this one. Nothing happened to it. It was good. Got this one. This is what we were sporting recently. Got a truck, trailer. Got the white truck. This one was kind of wild. There was molding carpet inside of it. I thought I was going to take on a project and make some money. No. Got a little boat. Picked up Patrick's car. I had bad luck with it. Got my wife's electric. Then the box truck. I was sporting the box truck for a while. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but the box truck was like my A to B transportation for a while, because I had sold everything I had so I could pick up the next company we were purchasing, and try to liquidate all my stuff so I could buy it. So I picked up one of those, and this is what I'm currently sporting in this blizzard right now. All right. So I'm going to dive into some of my job background. So some of you already know some of the things that I've done, but here's a kind of a quick snapshot. I'll blaze through it. Worked at the Master's Touch. That's where I started when I was 5 years old, and worked there until I was about 19. While I was working there, I worked for Alton's Tires, Northwest Tire, Spokane Cabinets. So I worked for all of those while I was working there. So if I wasn't working 40, 50 hours a week, or I was working 40 to 50 hours a week, I was also working any nights, weekends I could get at these places. I ended up leaving the Master's Touch and started working at Summit Electric. While I was working there, I started working at Domino's, so it was a second job, and I was going to NIC. And then I started my first legit company while I was doing those other two. So working at Summit, working at Domino's, and then started a company called Spokane Wire Stripping. That was bought my first machine. I got my scales and weight permits. I got my business license. It was quite the deal to set up a legit business. I started buying scrap from the recycle centers, or from a recycle center local. And I would buy pallets of wire, bring it back, refinish it, and then turn it back in at a higher value. And then I started working at the Master's Touch again, left Summit, and continued to run the wire stripping business while I was working at the Master's Touch. While I was working at the Master's Touch, I was also working at Pop and Corn, trying to help some people bring their company back up. It was company was really struggling. They were not profitable. They were going bankrupt, and so I went in to try to help them out and get it back into the black, and we did. I started working at Spokane Superior Solutions. Some of you guys know there. And then while I was working at the Master's Touch, I was working at these other two places. So I would work a full day, come in at 6, work until 4. And then I would work that evening or the weekends at these other places. When I was working at Pop and Corn, it was another 6 to 8 hours that evening. So it was pretty long hours. I remember my wife and we had committed to 4 months of helping at this Pop and Corn place. My wife was pregnant with our first baby, and the smells. I don't know if anybody's had issues with smells, but we had the biggest fights over the smell of popcorn. She would leave in tears. I'd be mad. It was insane. But we made it through it. When I was working at Spokane Superior Solutions, I started a company called Cote Building Construction. Like that name? It's Cote Building Construction. That was my second business. Started a third business called Spokane Staging while I was working there, and my fourth business, Cote Lawns. This is still while I was working at Spokane Superior Solutions. And then our fifth business, still while we were working at Spokane Superior Solutions, was Cote Building Construction Cleaning. That's a mouthful. And then we purchased Spokane Homes 25 LLC, which was a wholesale deal with an LLC. And I didn't want to have to set up another LLC, so I kept that, and I've had that for seven years now, I think. So I eventually went out on my own and was running all of these businesses: Cote Building Construction, Spokane Staging, Cote Lawns, the cleaning company, and then we were buying and flipping, and all of that at the same time. That's when we just started. We then purchased our second company purchase, which was more of a business though, called Sophisticated Home Staging. That was my sixth business. Started working at Exit Real Estate Professionals, and then transferred over to Kelly Wright Real Estate, which is a seventh business. So I'm a licensed real estate agent in Washington and Idaho. And then we opened a retail store down on Garland next to the Garland movie theater, which was a furniture store called Spokane Staging and Furniture Company. our 8th business. Purchased another wholesale deal, Lilac City Homes, which is our 3rd business purchase and our 9th company. Then we started Kerf Properties with my business partner, Patrick Volmer. Then we purchased a Supercut bandsaw, which was our 11th business, or my 11th business and our 4th business purchase. Started a lending company, Snowball 3, a development company, Snowball 4, and then Snowball 5 is the alternative molding concepts, which is our 5th business purchase. And currently running 7 businesses. My business partner and I are currently employing 60 employees. Combined revenue with the businesses that I'm part owner on. My business partner also has some restaurants that he does, not including that. Current annual revenue is 8 figures. Personal net worth is 7 figures. So now we're gonna dive into the goals and opportunities. So this is the main topic. I wanted to get an opportunity to say who I am and kind of establish a little bit of where I've come from and what makes me unique. Very few people have the same background that I do, and so it's kind of made me who I am. I think that goals are really difficult right now for most people. I doubt very many people are talking about goals or talking about what opportunities are available, and so that's why I felt like there was a need to get this fired up. Live events are pretty much non-existent right now, and so we made a plan and said we're going to make it happen, and there was a whole lot of struggle to get to this point, but we're here. So why do we want to do this? I want you to be rich. I've told many people that. You could probably ask half the people here. I really truly am passionate about helping other people around me become wealthy, and that's a passion of mine. I know that when you become wealthy, big things happen for you and for your community and for your family and for all the people that you can come in contact with. You might say, I don't need money. I don't need lots of money. I just need enough to cover myself because enough's enough. I can help others with what I have, and so I'm not really worried about making money. I saw this picture and it popped up when I was doing some research and stuff, and I got a little tingly. I was like, that's pretty rad. This dude's giving his sandals away, and this person's crying, obviously. It's just a really touching thing. But the thought came to me, what happens when you run out? Like, this guy is giving his shoes, next maybe his shirt, his glasses, but eventually you're going to run out, right? So I want you to be rich, because when you have additional resources, when you have extra, when you have more than what you need, you're able to give to others. You're able to do more for other people. It's extremely difficult to be rich without helping others. It just is. And no matter, I don't care how greedy you are, you're still helping other people when you're, I had it actually say, it's impossible. I said it's impossible to be rich without helping others. And then I thought, well, you could get a fund and you could sit on it and you could do nothing. But other than that example, which is the one example I fought myself on, so I had to reword it. So I changed it to, it's extremely difficult. And that's because it doesn't matter. If you're rich and you're buying stuff, you helped the people that made it. You helped the people, the hands that touched it. You helped the business that owned it. You helped, the guy, the trucker that drove it. And so let's look at these examples. Obviously, that's a sweet car. And that car took a lot of people. It took engineers, it took laborers, it took architects, or designers. It took all kinds of different things. The rubber, the aluminum. It took a aluminum factory to make the wheels that this thing has. The carbon fiber factory to do that. It took a lot to be able to put this together. And so even if you become wealthy, I want you to be able to buy these awesome things, because you're going to help so many people with the money that you spend. Another example, this takes, if you've ever, when I was a kid, we would look for sapphires. We would go to Montana, we'd go camping, we'd go to some mine, and we'd dig for sapphires. And this is one of the things that we did. And I actually don't know what these stones are, but is it emeralds? Nice. Emeralds. What's the white one? Diamonds? Okay, that's an expensive necklace. But it's crazy how hard it is just to get one little tiny stone, and to look at a necklace like this took hundreds or maybe thousands of hours to be able to put together. So I don't want I think there's this idea that you own a nice house, you own a nice jewelry, you own a nice car, that is bad. It's not bad. It's the amount of people that had to work on this house. We got contractors here, we got house flippers, we got wholesalers. It's not easy to be able to create a home like this. It takes hundreds, possibly thousands of people to get this whole house put together. And then that's not including the lumber mills and the sheetrock factories and the concrete mixing companies, all these people that are affected. So I want you to buy a boat. Buy a boat. And if you want, buy a boat and put it in a boat. Well, it's impossible to have goals right now. And why does it matter? Goals are your GPS. It's going to get you to where you want to be. And without a destination in mind and without a place you're going, you're not going to get where you're not going to make it to a physical location, right? I don't know when the last time you guys tried driving without a GPS to a new location. It is incredibly difficult. I can't believe how hard it is to get there without the GPS. So we got to have a GPS and get there. Where would you like to go? This is where I want you guys to think about what is it that you want to do. What would you like to do? What would you like to have? What would it cost? Let's make some goals right now. When you checked in, you should have been given a notepad and an ink pen. If you don't have one, Nathan. Also, I want to put a huge shout out to Nathan and to my wife Nadia. They did amazing job helping me put this thing together. At first, I was like, man, this will be easy. It was insane how hard this was to put this event together. It looked simple, but oh man, the amount of things we had to order and find online and all that. I mean, my wife's heard the script like 17 times. So and Nathan's just a bomb. He made it happen. So let's write some stuff down. We can start with income. What do you want your income to be? The next one to write down, what do you want your passive income to be? Income that you're not actively working for. Passive could be income coming from a rental property. It could be coming from a business that you're not having to participate in on an everyday basis. It could be from lending money that you're making money on money. It's money that you're able to make while you sleep. What would you like your net worth to be? Let's write that down. All right, we're gonna jump into the group exercise. I firmly believe that if you really want to be able to get where you're going, you have to tell somebody else that where you want to be and where you want to go. If you don't feel comfortable, you can pass. It's okay. But I think you'll get more out of this evening if you participate. So as a group exercise, we like to take 1 minute per person and tell somebody at the table what your goals are, whether it's income goals, passive income goals, whether it's something physical that you want to buy, whether it's a house, a car, a trip, you want to fund an orphanage, whatever it is. Tell us what that is. I think that it sounds like you guys had a good time talking about some goals. I love it. So I would like to see if I can get any table to volunteer to tell us your goals. Any tables? I'm going to start picking tables. All right. This table. Nadia. Come on. Help us out. Goals. What? You can share your goals or you can share somebody else's goals. Either way is good. It all works. Anybody? Nadia? She's shy. How about over here? Cool.
I want my passive income to exceed my um, uh,
You're
bills.
currently,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. So you'd like to be financially independent. You want to be able to make enough in your passive income that you're no longer required to work, where anything above and beyond that is going to just making it better. So awesome. I love it. Very cool. Very cool. How about Rob Stable?
You're looking at me. I'm the most conservative in my goals. I'm like, yeah, if I can make 150 grand, that'd be great.
Awesome.
300 million.
All right. All right. I love it. All right.
Standards a little bit.
Very good. So we got 150,000 gross income, and then we've got 300,000. Sorry, 300 take home. Sorry, let's not say gross. 300 take home, and then we got 1,000,000 take home, and that's an annual, right? Looking at per year. Very good. All right. I like it. I like it. Stepping it up. Very cool. How about you guys? Jeff, you got it? Steve?
Grow my company to 100 million, 10% passive income, and a net worth of 20 million.
Very good. I love it. That's awesome. All right, we're going back over to your table. Max?
We talked about other stuff.
All right, we'll circle back. Or unless you got it.
So my main goal is to get buff before summer.
All right, I love it. That's great.
That's because like within the last year I lost a bunch of weight.
Oh, yeah? Very cool.
It's not a goal; it's something that I will reach.
Nice.
Income 10 mil a year, passive 1.
Okay.
But even more so than that is 1 mil net worth before I'm 30,
All right.
which I will reach.
Awesome. Very good.
So those are mine.
Awesome. Mike and I just signed up for a 10-week challenge. I don't know if Nadia talked about it, but we just signed up, so we're officially in. We're doing a 10-week challenge. There's actually 3 cash prizes if you guys just. Yeah. So if anybody wants to join us, it's at the Integrity Fitness in Liberty Lake. How about this table over here?
We want to grow our business and sales. We want to pass 7 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we want to build a passive multifamily project this year.
Very cool. What size multifamily project do you want to try to build?
Either, I don't know, a couple duplexes. You can find one piece for like 5 or more units, something there.
Awesome. Very good. The more specific you are with your goals, the better chance you have of getting there. It's just like a GPS. If you put Spokane, you'll probably land in Spokane somewhere. But if you put in a physical address, you'll actually make it to that destination. So as you're writing your goals out, and I would encourage you after tonight sit down. And this is something that my wife and I have done pretty religiously through our marriage. Is we sit down and it's painful for my wife. I enjoy it, but we sit down and I try to get my wife to participate because it's not going to happen with just me. If you're in a relationship with someone else, it's really key to bring them in on what those goals are because you'll find that your goals may not be her goals, and if you're going different directions, you're going to get split in half, and it's going to be really ugly. So, my wife and I are very diligent about going together. And Dave Ramsey uses an example of the Clydesdales. They say that one horse can pull 10,000 pounds and 2 horses can, or one individual horse can pull 10,000 pounds, but 2 horses saddled together can pull 30,000 pounds. And I truly believe that. If you don't have the support of your spouse, that was one of the reasons I tried to encourage people to bring a guest, because bringing your significant other to this event is my goal is to get you guys aligned and work together at achieving whatever those goals are. And whether it's fitness, whether it's income, whether it's passive, whether it's whatever it is, you got to be in unison with the person you're trying to get there with. So anyways, when you get home, be specific. Write down some things. My first list of goals was I wanted a bicycle, and we were married. I wanted a bicycle. I think we had I'm trying to think of some of the other silly things we had out there, but We no, it didn't have a tandem bike, but we had. I think we had a stroller. What do you call them? The car, the carrier behind the bike. Anyways, the trailer. Yeah, a trailer for the kiddos. So we had goals like that, and sometimes it was like to get $500 of passive income or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever the goal is, to create. Just be specific. Write down something that's tangible, and then as you write them down, try to think of right now, what's something I could do in the next 6 months? What's something tangible that I can do in the next 6 months? And then what's something I can do in a year? What's something that I can do in 3 years? And what's something I can do in 5 years? And if you're really brave, try to go 10 years. I can't do it, but try to go 10 years out. And be specific on what you want to try to accomplish. Back there, Warren.
Yeah. I got a lot of goals.
Okay.
Small goals.
All right.
And my biggest one right now that I want to work on is public speaking.
Ooh,
Great.
awesome. All right.
I get up in front of people and I just get all nervous. I'm like, I wish I could work. But anyways, okay, so that's my number one goal I'm working on right now.
I love it.
But other than that, like as far as our income goes, we'd like to see yearly income probably about $350,000.
Awesome.
Ballpark's pretty dang good for us.
That's very good.
Rather shoot for the stars and
Yeah,
kind of stuff. Than
absolutely.
Stuff sorry, I got this saying all backwards. Too much public speaking. All right, I'm done.
Absolutely. Very good. Awesome. Great job. When you're thinking about what that income is, one of the things that you can do is you can start taking what you're doing and reverse engineer it. Start going, okay, when I sell this or when I work this, my hourly rate is X. Sometimes it's just increasing the number of hours you work a little bit. Sometimes it's increasing sales a little bit. Sometimes it's whatever it is. It's just getting a couple more leads, doing a few more ads. Try to do the math and figure out what it's going to take to actually accomplish those different goals, and you'll start to see results. Over here, Dave.
I guess my biggest thing I was telling Patrick, I would like to spend more time in a warmer climate.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
I really dislike the snow, snow plowing.
Uh-huh.
Snow blowing twice is not my thing.
Yeah.
On the beach, I have little kids, and living on the beach is not a good environment for little kids. So
Okay.
figuring out how we can do more warm climate.
Nice. I love it. That's very good. My wife and I would love to have somewhere warm that we could go. It's pretty tough when you start to get established in a specific area. It's harder to move around, but we're thinking maybe we can set up a second home somewhere else and be able to go there on a routine basis. So, well, very good. We're going to take a break. You're welcome to grab a drink, grab some food. I really want to encourage you to network. These people here are very bright. Some of the brightest people I know. And part of the goal of this event is to get you guys to connect with other people and learn stuff from each other. So please take a few minutes and meet somebody that you haven't met or that you don't know, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started into the second part here. I'm stoked that you guys are meeting new people and shaking hands. Make sure you hand sanitizer. But I'm super stoked that you guys are meeting people and networking. So we're gonna jump into the second part, which is the opportunities part. So the first half of this event was talking about the goals, and the goals are key to getting the ideas that move you forward. So if you don't have a goal, then the opportunities could be sitting right next to you, but you don't see them because you don't have a reason to see them. They aren't necessary, if that makes sense. So we're gonna dive into opportunities. One of the things I've heard a lot this year is, I can't do anything. The government shut me down, and I really, there was times where I really felt lousy. I mean, I remember, for a few days just feeling terrible. Like, what's going to happen? and I'll give you guys a couple ideas on some of the things that happened with us when COVID hit. We had 22 houses on the books going into COVID. 22 houses. Talk about scary. Super scary. Government shut us down, said you can't build anymore. We had contractors out there building anyways, and sheriff shows up, said get out of here, and then they go back to work. The sheriff shows up again, says, all right, we're serious this time. You got to get out of here. And we were shut down. 22 houses completely shut down. I think at that time, we were sitting on, I don't know, something like $5 million, $6 million worth of debt. So pretty scary, super, super scary. Another thing, our furniture business was pretty tough to do much with furniture because of the lockdown. We weren't supposed to do anything in Washington. Staging, we had stages booked. People had already paid. Everything was already happening. And the governor said no more staging. Can't go and show any houses. Can't do anything. So it was a really, really scary moment there. But it took me a couple days to get over it, and I went to my business partner Patrick, and I said, there's got to be opportunities right now, and so we started brainstorming, and we talked at length constantly. That's one of the things that's been really amazing about having a business partner is we can talk about anything and everything, and it's really nice to have somebody to bounce those things off of. And if you got a spouse, you can use your spouse. If you don't, that's one of the things that's really cool about this group, because these people here can be that sounding board for you. And you may find in the next couple months or next day or whatever that the person you were sitting next to during this event ends up becoming, a business partner or a vendor or a customer for you. So, but anyway, so I want to focus on things that we can control. We obviously couldn't stage anymore. We couldn't. Furniture pretty much was shut down. Construction was shut down. We had to figure out what to do. And I'm going to give an example. The stock market. My business partner came up with this idea, and he said, I think we should look at the stock market. And he said, I think we should get in. And it's a little hard to see. This is the S&P 500 index, and this shows you what happened from January. So at the very far left of the screen, you see what the market was doing in January. It was on a steady incline all the way up until March, and then you can see the major drop and dive, the nosedive in March, right? If you would have bought in March 23rd, you would have bought really well. I ended up buying in May. So I was just shy of a month late getting into the market. But if you can see, May is about 1/3 or so of the screen. You can see where it starts. Still a great buy. If you had put $500,000, or you could say $500, it doesn't matter. $500, $500,000, $5,000, and you would have used margin. You would have from March 23rd to December 13th, when I took this snapshot, you would have taken that $500,000 and made it $1,165,000. So people are all, oh my gosh, everything sucks, everything's bad, everything's horrible. Well, there was an opportunity, and it was a huge opportunity. And some of you jumped in, got it. Some of you didn't. And my goal here is not to make you feel bad or anything. My goal is to make you feel encouraged that even though there's a whole bunch of bad stuff going on, there's still opportunities out there. I got some more examples I want to show you. All right, if you own a house, it shows that the home prices in Spokane. This came from I think it was Redfin or something. If you had a home in Spokane over the last year, the value of that property has gone up 18.4% since last year. So if you own a house, you got to ride that. So you already participated in something that's really good that's going on. So congratulations to any of you that currently own a house. If you don't own a house, this is an opportunity that could have been available for you. And a lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's going to take so much money to buy a house. You can get into a house, depending on if you're a VA, zero down. If you want to go in, you can go FHA with 3.5% down. If you want to go conventional, you can go 5% down. And you can go, oh my gosh, that's so much money. Well, $200,000 property is $6,000. $6,000 at 5%, and it just goes down from there. So you could get in for cheaper. Did I do my math right? No, it's $10,000. $10,000. FHA would be you can get in for like the $3,000 per 100,000. So, what you could do is sell some stuff. You got a TV, sell it. You got a bike, you got a whatever it is, sell it. Sell your stuff, and then buy something. Buy an asset. Buy something that's going to appreciate. That's one of the keys right now. Is don't be buying. Do you have a question?
I was going to throw something out about that if I could real quick.
You bet.
Borrow it from your parents.
There you go.
The one thing, and there's a financial advisor I follow, which is really interesting, talks about the missed opportunities for children. And one of the key things that you always hear people talk about is 529s, invest for college, put money away for your kids' college. His argument is that is probably the worst thing you can do with your money.
Absolutely.
And the argument is, if you're going to do something for your kids, help them get their first house. Because that, for many people see that as their largest hurdle, and it is the largest initial economic opportunity that you can give somebody to get started. So that instead of putting money away, tens of thousands of dollars for college, as James said, that $10,000 you could use to get them into a house, which a year later is worth 20% more than what they paid for. So
Yep.
even if they were to just turn that house around to something new, they now have their foot in the doorway, and that allows them to build equity from then on.
Absolutely. So and that I'm 100% on board with that. Don't put money. It's up to you, to each their own. But in my family, we started when we first got married. We started a college fund for our kids, and I was a little torn on it because we can go into that on another night. But we've converted our plan for the college fund into a house fund. So our plan is to help our children purchase a home, either when they're ready to move out or when they get married, and we're pushing forward with that. So exactly what Dave Lucas was talking about. So I'm going to give you some examples. If you would have bought a $300,000 house and you would have had it for 1 year, it would be currently worth $355,000. That's more money than most people make in a year. That's passive income. That's money making while you're sleeping. That is money that you didn't have to work for. So just by buying a house on a $300,000 house, if you're going FHA, you're at like 9 to 12 grand for your down payment on a house. You sell your car, you sell expensive clothes, you sell whatever it is, bicycles, anything. Sell everything you got. Sell a little bit of I don't know, anything, and get your house, and you're instantly starting to make money, passive income. Here's another opportunity, right now this is I think is a huge thing. This is a real company that I found on either LoopNet or BizBuySell. It's currently up for sale for $115,000. And again, these numbers sound huge, but when you start to factor in, well, you could private finance, you could get hard money, you could get an angel investor, you could ask a parent, a friend, an uncle, a grandma, somebody to help you get some of this money put together for the down to get financed. This little business is a retail store and a little wine bar, and they netted. This is after after they've paid for all the wine, after they paid for the rent, after they paid for the mortgage, they made $120,000 last year, the year before they listed it. So obviously it took a nosedive, but during COVID. But talk about an opportunity: being able to buy a company for $115,000 and be able to make $120,000 a year later. Now you're going to have to work up to that because COVID's obviously making things tough. But you're buying it for less than one times. One time EBITDA. So pretty insane. Here's another one. Hotels are up everywhere. Everywhere they are for sale. If it's insane. And here's why: because most of the people that are getting financing for a hotel are expecting a certain occupancy rate, right? So they're saying we'll be 70%. We'll have a 70% occupancy rate, and we'll be able to finance that. Well, they finance it, and then they don't hit 70%, which is what's happening right now. These have become huge opportunities. This is, I think this is 9 stories. This is a 9-story hotel with 140 rooms. 140 rooms, $900,000. That is, if you've ever looked at any of that stuff, that is dirt. Like, this thing's worth probably $5 million. So that's insane. Insane. Now with this one in particular, we're going to talk about pivoting as well. You're going to say, well, it's a terrible time to buy a hotel. Yeah, you're right. What about short-term living? What about little condos? What about little rental properties? What about a little, what are the VRBO, whatever it is? Can you pivot? Can you make this work right now? And I think there is ways. I didn't get any slides, but I really wanted to take some pictures of the restaurants around town. You go, it's closed, and then you see igloos and tents, and then you see closed, igloos and tents, and then closed. And I'm amazed at how busy some of these places are. I mean, my wife and I went out on a date night last Friday, and we saw a big, huge tent, a whole bunch of igloos. I can't remember the name of the place. It used to be Blackbird. And tried to get in, booked. They're like, did you make a reservation? I'm like, no. They're like, yep, booked. We're booked 3 hours in advance. I'm like, or for the next 3 hours. So it was, it's amazing how busy those places are right now. And they've just pivoted. They looked for the opportunity. They looked for, how can we come up with a way that's going to continue to bring business in and do something totally different? Does people want to set up igloos? No. Do they want to set up tents? No. But did it work? I think so. I didn't see their financials, so I can't tell you for sure if it's working or not. But based on the amount of foot traffic and the number of tables they've got filled, some of them are even setting up minimum tickets. So if you want to go down to Templin's on the river, or sorry, it's not Templin's. It's it's changed. It was Kavanaugh's. Then it became Ruby, Rib Path. I think it's had like 6 names. But anyways, they set up the igloos out there, and they got a minimum ticket. If you're in there, it's I can't remember if it's $100 per person. It's a lot. It's a bunch. And so, I mean, you get 5 people in there, you got $500 per igloo for an hour and a half. That's pretty darn good money, right? It's always full. Yeah, we tried to get one and we got kicked out again. So I need to plan better. Another opportunity that I think is out there right now is online businesses. If you have a business or you're thinking about a business or you want to create a business, you got to think about going online. Online is absolutely, and I'm speaking to the choir, I suck when it comes to electronics and technical stuff and digital stuff and anything like that. And so, again, we talk about where I started as a kid, couldn't read until I was 16. So not an area that I'm really super passionate about is in that space. But I can tell you for a fact, online business is right now an opportunity. The consumers are ready. They want to buy. They want to buy online now. They're used to it. They trust you. They trust you, and you didn't even do anything to earn their trust yet. And before COVID, that didn't exist. People weren't comfortable buying online. They are now. They're totally comfortable buying from you, and because they've been forced to. We're going to take an opportunity to do a group exercise. What we want to do is we want your table to come up with ideas for opportunities right now. And so at your table, discuss what ideas or opportunities, write them down, opportunities right now that have become available because of COVID. And that's what I really want you to leave this place thinking. COVID created opportunities. COVID created opportunities. It didn't shut everything down. It created new opportunities. And you guys can achieve great things if you guys take that mindset. So 5 minutes, 1 minute per person. All right, guys. So it looks like you guys all had a good time talking about opportunities. I'm gonna open it up and get. I think I'm gonna just call on you guys. So we're gonna start with this table here because you guys are right there. So what are the opportunities that you guys came up with? So
So we came up with like drive-in theaters
drive-in theaters,
or oh yeah, mask case, a case for your mask.
a case for your mask. That is, that's funny because the masks are kind of gross, and that'd be really cool. Yeah, like almost like a sunglass holder, like for your mask. It's perfect. I like it.
Just to piggyback off of that idea, if you make it so that it can sanitize the mask and have
Oh yeah.
so that you can plug it into your car, something like that,
Oh yeah.
dude, that would hit because you see them hanging from people's rear view mirror.
Yep.
If you had it plugged into your car and maybe somehow kept stored in the car somewhere and it sanitized it, that'd be a big selling point because we know that stuff's selling right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We know some manufacturers use it.
Yeah. Speaking of opportunities, when when COVID hit back in March and everything started shutting down and all that stuff, there was an opportunity to help the state of Washington get a supply of masks. So our company immediately reached out. We reached out immediately and asked if we could participate in helping out with creating masks. And so it was an opportunity that we saw, said, there's going to be a ton of these needed. Let's see what we can do to set up and help provide this. So I got on the phone and started talking with the Department of Health, and we were talking with the guys at the Olympia. They had people from the military. It was a pretty big group of business owners, and there was Honeywell was on the phone call with us. It was really cool, but that opportunity didn't end up going through. We told them we were ready. I submitted all the forms. I turned everything in, and nothing happened. And I tried I think 3 times to become a vendor to help out with the masks, the needs for the masks. And we were talking about injection molding for the face shields. We were talking about I signed up for making parts for the ventilators, the ventilators that they use. So because obviously the whole case of that is all plastic, and we said, hey, we'll tool up, we'll set it up and do it, and that opportunity didn't happen. And then shortly after, our banker introduced us to some inventors, some local inventors that created a single mask. Nathan, do you remember the name of that company, or Patrick? I can't remember, but anyway. There we go. Continuous Composites. They created it looks almost like a construction mask. You know how they usually have 2 big, huge honking things? They created a really compact version of it. It was pressurized. I mean, it was totally legit. You could use it in a hospital. It was absolutely awesome. We got an opportunity to quote that. We were going to do the injection molding for some of the plastic parts, some of the silicone parts or rubber parts. And we went through all that, gave them tours. We toured there, vice versa. Didn't happen. So the point is that don't just stop because the lead that you followed didn't turn out. Because if we did that, we wouldn't move forward with anything. So we kept grinding one after another and kept trying to create new opportunities throughout over time. So we're going to go back to opportunities. So how about you guys? Julie, did you get Dan? Julie?
We talked about a lot of ideas, but one that stood out the most, starting a business that helps other businesses get online and manage their stores if they want to sell stuff because they're closed, and you can manage their online presence, their marketing, their stores, and help bring all the stores that are not online, bring them online.
I think that's a huge need. absolutely enormous. Did you have one, Julie?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what we were talking about.
Awesome.
Honestly. Yeah, that and then opportunities with hotels,
Mm-hmm.
turning them into multifamily.
Absolutely. Cool. How about over there?
I guess the thing I know the most or most comfortable with is stocks. And so I think during the change that we're seeing and the pivoting is really much.
Yeah. That's insane. You could have, what is that? Is that 8 times? Almost 8 times? Yeah, almost 8 times your money. So if you put $1 in, you would have got $8 out. That's huge. Warren, how about your guys' table? Eric? Warren? You got to stand up. Let's do this.
All right, so we had a whole bunch.
There would be like one teacher to like 5 students, and they would be like splitting the cost for this tutoring service.
That's awesome.
Some sort of like tutoring cost.
Very cool. I like that. That's awesome. Any more at that table?
Like we put like delivery services,
Obviously, delivery businesses.
Uber Eats, all of that.
Yeah. I can't believe, I went to 2 or 3 restaurants recently, and the number of Uber Eats drivers was more than the number of people the number of people that were cycling through. It was just insane. It was just like one after another, after another, after another. So that's a huge thing right now. Figuring out a way to get things to people where they don't have to be in big groups and stuff like that. Delivery, a home service, that kind of stuff. Any more at that table?
I think even now there's still a need at this very moment for like craft beer delivery. Like a lot of people like to go to breweries, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were to buy a whole bunch of kegs of craft beers, and then you can put them into, growlers or whatever. Take them to your house.
Yeah, I like it. I've always thought that alcohol delivery would be a sweet business. I don't know how many times I worked at, I was on the list, Domino's, and I can't tell you how many times I got a call with somebody like, hey, would you mind hitting me up or picking up a case of beer for me on the way? No, for real. It was a real question. That happened all the time. Yeah, so, alcohol delivery, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Don't drink and drive, get it delivered. There we go. Don't drink and drive, get it delivered. All right, how about over here?
Okay, we have a couple things. One, Matt has been thinking. He wants this because he's a construction man and he's
I
always
just saw
like
that image.
the cold finger.
Ooh.
I have one, but
Oh.
it's really funky and it doesn't work.
All right, so we're looking for a caulk finger.
Yeah. But one
If you guys come up with a design, we can make it.
I know.
yeah, he's
I love it. I love it.
So one that me and him have been thinking about a lot because we've been going on date nights and it's really hard to find somewhere to go.
Yes.
And so you don't know where to go, you don't know what's open, you don't know the times, you don't know the events, you don't know if it's drive-through, you don't know if you can go in, you don't know if it's a mask required. So we've been pondering this for a while of just making an app, and then other people can add to that app so that you do know where to go, or like what state park is open, what hiking route you could go on, all that stuff.
That's very cool. So an app that would show what's actually available. I know, like Google right now, you can Google anything and it says, yeah, we're open, but then you get there and then it's closed. Or it says, yeah, we're open, we're doing dining, and we've, whatever, and then you get there and they're like, no dining, or whatever.
Store hours are 7 to 9.
Right.
Closes at 5.
So a way to create an opportunity for people to get real time information. So yeah, that's awesome. Any ideas over here?
Something that quite hasn't been mentioned. I'm Jesse, by the way.
Hi, Jesse.
Yeah, is I've looked at some figures as far as like people purchasing weapons, and in the United States this year, 2020, is pocket that.
Would that be like personal training on how to use your weapon? So to recap, those of you that are on the other side of the room, he's talking about there's been a huge spike of new gun owners or new weapon owners, and what he's talking about is that there's a lot of people that don't know how to use their new guns. And I know when I got my gun, I didn't know anything about how to use a gun either. I grew up, my family, my mom my dad, I don't know who it was, my mom or my dad, banned guns in the house. So we weren't allowed to have any, and I wasn't even really allowed to have any toy guns either. So like, there's a whole bunch of like common sense stuff that you don't know the first time you get a gun, and it would be really helpful to have some instruction on, or be able to get instruction on how to do that. Are you thinking of like an online platform or like a personal training?
Yeah, we already have family that actually does training, so.
Oh, okay.
Military background and stuff. But I think something where the opportunity is like getting people that are great at marketing, people that are in the marketing business. We're talking about social media and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Getting those people connected with people that are really good at self-defense and preparing themselves.
Uh-huh.
And kind of like there's some sort of synergy there where they can market their skills right now because maybe those people are out of work right now for us.
That's awesome. So Jeff currently does CNC work, and they were doing basically job shop CNC work. A lot of that CNC work has evaporated because of COVID. So they had to pivot, and they pivoted to motorsports. Is that right? Couple different.
And gun parts, so we're making AR-15 parts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just trying to diversify the company.
Awesome.
We're still doing the job shop, and some of that's coming back and not real strong. But
Yeah.
motorsports company and creating that online presence.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing right now is that they need exposure. They need online presence. They need to be able to get in front of people so that people know who they are. And they can do that through video. They can do that through social media. They can do that through advertising and all of those different components. So getting more exposure. So you could take what you're already doing and just say, you know what, my customer base was 100 people or 10 people or whatever it is, and I need to get exposure to more people. And so I'm gonna try to partner up with some people to do that. There are some phenomenal people in this room that have experience in those areas that would be able to help each other. So I'm really glad you guys were able to talk. How about you guys?
We have a list of several subscription type ideas.
Oh, I love subscriptions. Woo!
Steve thought of like a cool
Money while you're sleeping.
cool main service that maybe centered more around COVID type stuff.
Okay.
Even home maintenance. Tony had the idea of and even just anything having to do with the home, because everyone's at home and that type of thing, and even remote work stuff, the stuff that's out there now, you mentioned Zoom and things like that.
Yeah.
They work, but they're clunky, and there's a lot of data flying back and forth. So some kind of system to make that easier.
I like it. Very good. So an improved Zoom version, something that's a little more seamless and streamlined, maybe easier to use, and maybe facilitate more of the needs that home office people are looking for. And then what you also mentioned was home services, like a subscription for house cleaning or a subscription for possibly house maintenance. Is that right?
Yeah, and also even just subscription boxes. You were talking about people at home, they have interest. I think you were talking about your buddy has a succulent subscription box.
We've got 4 or 5 different subscription businesses and very successful, 100 millionaire, and
Wow.
One of them is succulents.
Succulents. I'm drawing a blank. What the heck is a succulent? Oh, it's a plant. Okay, got it. That's awesome.
They're at home and they just want to buy something to make their house look better.
All right, that's cool. Now, subscriptions is like I don't know how to describe it. It is one of the most understated way to generate passive income, and it's definitely something that we're talking about doing a subscription on bandsaw blades. So getting an account set up and then setting up on a subscription. So because a lot of people run their blades too far, and they'll run them until they're completely worthless. It's kind of like the razor club, like the razor club. The idea of getting a new razor once a week or whatever it is. Is it? Yeah. So getting a blade set up on that. You guys. Nadia, you want to go? You got it? She was busting them out. We were doing our little preview on this, and she was just, ooh, Mexico. Okay, not sure. So, Oh, you guys are planning a trip. Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get that out. That's an opportunity. Any other ideas?
I mean, obviously, an invention is the best way. I mean, if you can invent something, if you have a creative mind,
Uh-huh.
invent something and target on social media because everyone's at home and on social media right now.
Yeah.
Just that,
So basically what you're saying is individual products, something that you can market on social media that you've either invented or that you're getting exposure to is a key right now. So products companies. I think that's huge right now.
everyone's on social media and you can target them with the proper marketing.
So get a product, put it on social media, blow it up. Love it.
Okay.
Dylan.
I had some random
Sorry,
ideas.
check Calvin. My bad.
A lot of people right now are making a transition to working from home, and they're used to being at a work office, and a lot of people are having to go online to buy office chairs, office desks, and if you've tried to recently, most of them are sold out. So I think there might be an opportunity to invent and design a home workstation that's a little more optimized for being at home.
Yeah.
And something that maybe rather than having the standard office chair where the weight of gravity is always compressing your spine, to work at a more comfortable angle like a reclining chair, but have it designed
I like it.
a home office station.
Nice.
And just to make it like one big buy, it's your whole office. You mount your monitors, your laptop plugs in,
Oh, yeah.
etc. It might be something cool. The other idea,
Yep.
yeah. So we also design and manufacture with James and Patrick gun safety tools. So we heard that being talked about, and that's something that we're currently doing in that area. But the other idea when I heard subscriptions, and then Ben said it, was have you ever had to change your furnace filter
Oh, yeah.
in your house?
Yeah.
What about if that bad boy just showed up every 3 months?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely
Go to the hardware store because a lot of people don't go to the hardware store unless
right.
they need to.
Right. Oh, yeah, and then, a new filter is like 12, anywhere from $5 to $12 or $20. Okay, $20. Yeah, there are some nice ones. Was it 20? Oh my goodness. I haven't been to the hardware store in a little bit, but the furnace filter, if you don't change that furnace filter, you're going to blow a furnace. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah.
I work from home a lot, and also I work from car. So I'm driving today from Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how can I make my drive better? Well, my wife drives through the snow.
Yeah.
I recall, hey, I have that laptop fold-up desk, the wooden one, so I had it worked really nice. But I also, due to my work nature, I need like 3 monitors.
So the idea is to create a virtual reality counselor that can help walk you through marriage problems. He had mentioned that.
Or like an environment
Or-
you walk together.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you actually, it's a quest. You go together, but you like see.
Oh, so it's.
World, and you go and you go through stuff.
I haven't done any VR, but it sounds really awesome.
So I'll share it. So the virtual reality realm is growing, and it's actually growing really fast. It's something that I've kind of got into, and it is very weird because when you're inside of a virtual reality headset, it only takes a few minutes to forget the outside, and you just get drawn in.
Wow.
And it could be a very useful space because inside of those experiences, my mood can be changed drastically. So
Really?
imagine setting yourself into, a beautiful scenery on a quest with your partner and going through that together. It's very immersive.
That's cool.
There would be a
I
lot
love
of
it.
potential for that.
There you go.
Anything, and also the effect of virtual reality amplifies the perception and price that you pay. It's like instead of paying in fast, and you're just kind of paying the price. You're like thinking, okay, that's the price I paid. I want to get something out of it.
Yeah. I think that is really cool. You guys have the coolest ideas.
One more thing.
All right.
So I know with this COVID crap, I actually own an airsoft paintball field, and everything was shut down. I've been so busy because everybody's trying to find something else to do they've never done. So that's a big opportunity I actually tapped into this year. And if you think about it, if you think about other stuff that other people can do that are outside with COVID stuff, it does make sense. And there's a lot of families out there trying to find stuff for their family to do.
That is a huge need right now. Activities that you can do with your family, with your friends, outside. I can't tell you, this is the most bored I've ever been this year because of just there's nowhere to go. I mean, I feel like even with my kids, it's really hard to find activities on a consistent basis. And I don't know if it's just the idea that there's so many things closed that's causing me to feel unmotivated, or if it's just a lack of options. I don't know, but I feel like creating spaces or activities. I think that's a huge need right now. People need. I mean, talking about divorce. I had a family that was mentoring my wife and I, and they were really successful married couple. That they were very successful with their marriage, and their kids were stellar, just absolute amazing kids. And I asked him, I said, "So what's the secret? What do you guys? How are you guys able to do this so well?" And he said, "We have to play. We play together." And he's like, "That's the most important thing." And I was like, "That seems ridiculous. Like, out of all the things you could have told me, you're going to tell me that playing together is the most important thing?" He said, "Yeah, we have fun together. We do. We play games. We go out. We do things together. We play." And he said, "That's what's important. It's not about all the rules. It's not about all the telling people what to do. It's not about all these different regiments." He's like, "It's just being a family and having fun." So that would be super cool. I love it. I think I did that. Did we do this table? You guys did it? Did we get you guys? Anybody else? Any other ideas? No?
Your idea, James.
My ideas. Woo. Yeah. So a few ideas that I have that I think are blossoming right now is I believe that retail is suffering big time, and I think that if you have a retail space, if you have a commercial building, you have a store, any of that stuff, the cost of that real estate and the value of that business is completely dumped. And I think that there's a huge opportunity for commercial real estate. If you were looking to get a good deal, I think that that's going to be available here soon. I think there's a lot of property management companies and landlords that are hanging on to them kind of by the skins of their whatever that are really close to the end, and they need to sell or they go into bankruptcy. So some people feel bad about getting a good deal, and you can't feel bad. You pulled them out of bankruptcy. You're giving them the opportunity to be able to move on without having a 7-year delay to their growth. So don't feel bad about buying a good deal. Now, don't be a jerk. Okay, I know people that go and buy houses. I love wholesalers. We've got 2 wholesalers in here, and I love wholesalers. They go out and they hunt those deals down for me, and they find those smoking deals, and then I pay them good money. I don't want to take advantage of my wholesalers. I don't want to take advantage of the person selling me that property or that house, that whatever it is. So pay a fair price, but don't feel bad that you got a good deal. So I know there's a lot of people. I remember when I first got started with my real estate business. My dad, who I'm always trying to make proud make proud of me, told me that he was just like, "Oh, you're just taking houses away from old ladies, and you're a thief." And I'm like, "No, we just funded her retirement, and we gave her the opportunity to go and do the things that she wants to do now." And I've taken that really to heart. I have bought houses from elderly people, and I haven't negotiated. I just paid it. I said, "You tell me the price, I'll pay it." And then they tell me the price, I pay it, and I don't negotiate. So I hope wherever you are in your business. And the other thing is for elderly and single moms, single dads, whatever. Well, mostly single moms. I also I'll list and sell for free. So was that? Widows. There we go. Widows. So I think it's our duty to help those that are in need. And if you get those opportunities, I think you should go after it. Any more?
I have something to say about that, James. What you're talking about, I think one thing that this past
I think
I'm truly passionate.
that's huge. That's huge. There's a lot of people in need right now, and that's it goes back to the core value of this event. I want you to be rich because if you're rich, you have the ability to help everyone around you. You have the ability to. I can list a house and not have to worry about getting paid because I'm not worried about feeding my family. I have the ability to donate if I want to. I have the ability to do these different things. And so I want that to be for each and every one of you. And I love your heart for that. I think that's awesome. Super cool.
I think there's a lot of people that can relate to it. You know, people that feel disconnected from the products that they use. I mean, whether you go into the agriculture industry where, you want to talk about people are starting to grow their own food. People are considering different options as far as like maybe getting into the hunting industry and stuff. But having that connection to the supply line, where does this come from? How much does the person get paid? Whatever your angle is.
I love it. So spokesman, we gotta hire this guy. We gotta have him. We gotta have him as our sales rep for our injection molding company. Buy in the U.S. I love it. Should we do another event? I don't know if this is worth the time or not. I'm gonna talk about some of the things that we're thinking about. So some of the ideas for the event topics. My goal would be to facilitate, but also bring in experts. And by no means am I a stock market expert, but I would love to bring in some people that could talk more about the stock market and what opportunities are there. I'd love to talk about commercial versus SBA financing. I'd like to bring in someone to talk about that. Private lending and financing, how to buy and sell a business, how to sell a house like a pro. Anybody in here that has a house or is going to help someone sell a house could do a better job at selling, and that difference can be thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars just by doing a better job getting it sold. Flipping and wholesaling deals, hiring methods, sales techniques, how to be able to read P&Ls and balance sheets. What we'll do is we'll actually we'll mock up some P&Ls and balance sheets and then actually physically go through it and look for opportunity. Where is this P&L failing? Where is this balance sheet failing? And we'll use it as an exercise so that you can get better at actually doing that. That was something that my business partner got an MBA. I never got to do that, and I had to learn from scratch. And so I spent hours trying to watch YouTube videos, which was mind-numbing. I didn't have any physical contact with someone to help me walk through. What am I looking at? I just looked at a big sheet with a whole bunch of numbers and a bunch of words, and I didn't really know what I was looking at. So, and I feel like at this point, fairly proficient at this, so this is probably a topic that I would love to be able to share with you guys. And we'd mock up different companies. We'd call it ABC Company and the Jet Airline, and we'll call it whatever. And we'll have different companies, and then we'll have you guys go through it privately and dissect the P&L and the balance sheet and say, what's wrong? What's going wrong with this business? We'll intentionally make them bad. And you'll have an opportunity to figure it out. So to help you, whether you want to start a business or have a business, you'll give you an opportunity to do that. I really want this event to be, especially this monthly event. Our plan is, our hope is to make this a monthly event, a free event that people can come to and enjoy. And I want it to be in a way fun for people that are interested in business, people that are interested in just growing as an individual, as an employee, as a student, whatever it is. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to provide content that applies to everyone. And I believe that both the goals and opportunities are things that can apply, whether you're an employee, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an inventor, an entrepreneur, whether you haven't started a business, have started a business, unemployed. I'm hoping that these will apply to you. Tax strategies. We've brought in CPAs before. That'll be something that I'd love to do. I would also like to make sure that we have a focus on how we can give back. So we'll be bringing in some nonprofits and talking about that, and then we'll have at some point. This is not set in stone. These things are fluid, so we're going to change these and adjust these. But build a business in 30 days. I'd like to do a competition, and you have to start a business that you have not done at all. You've never done it. You don't have any experience with it, and you have to build a business from scratch. And we'll walk you through that process and help you create that business. And then at the end of it, we'll do a prize. So based on how well the business turned out. So. And then I also want to participate in that. I think it'll be a blast. So building a business from scratch to being an actual legit business in under 30 days. And we'll go through that. Another thing that we're doing. So my goal is to keep this event free. I really like to do it on a monthly basis. Last year, my business partner and I think we combined, we probably spent a little over, between airfare, travel, car, house, all that stuff, we probably spent $50,000 on seminars and masterminds, events like this, and we recapped after the last mastermind. It's gotten me where we are now. I am a huge firm believer that there's a handful of things that are going to make a big difference. One, get a mentor. Patrick was my first legit mentor, and I can't thank him enough for the amount of life-changing information that he's shared with me and that he's helped groom me and grow me. Read books. I didn't read until I hated reading, and I thought people that read were weird. I thought they were like weirdos, like those are just the weird people. They tie their shoes too tight, those guys. You know what I'm talking about, So. I didn't value reading, and once I started reading, my first cover to cover book was Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, you got to read it. Read that book cover to cover. I couldn't believe that I actually read the book, and I did. And then kind of an onslaught, just one book after another. So that has really made a huge difference for me. Going to seminars is huge. It's really difficult right now to go to live events, but there are online events that are currently available that you can go on and learn whatever you're passionate about, whether it's art, whether it's business, whether it's another language, whatever it is, you can learn on there. And then the last, what was that?
Our studio can record those online events for broadcast.
I love it. So if you have an event, you could have it broadcasted from their studio. He's got a sweet studio. Just toured it. And then the last one is joining the mastermind. The mastermind that we joined, just the membership was $25,000, and that doesn't include hotel, doesn't include flying, and we only met up 3 times. So, anyways, what I'm saying is that whether it's with us or whether it's on your own, I really recommend that you try to look into those different avenues to try to grow. We learn more by watching than we do by hearing. So when we see how somebody else is doing something, it's not going to be the words that I said tonight. It's going to be what you remember from. It's the story behind it that's going to make a difference. They say a cow doesn't teach a calf how to eat. It just watches. It just learns by watching. So, anyways, we're gonna. I'm starting up a inner circle. Now this will be paid. If you want to be a part of it, you're welcome to ask Nathan or my wife. Well, actually, no, talk to Nathan. And my wife doesn't know all the details, but she's going to Mexico. But anyway, so we're going to do an inner circle, and here's what the inner circle is going to be. It's going to be a once a week. My goal is to give you access to people that I know. I'm going to try to help build your business. I'm going to try to come around you, and then likewise, we're going to work together. So each of us are going to share about what we're doing and how we're doing, and try to make connections. Once a week, we'd like to go over roses, buds, and thorns, and that is. Roses are things that are going great. Buds are things that we're looking forward to, and thorns are things that are really terrible going on in our business right now. And so we'll be doing that once a week. I'd like to build in activities. I think that going to the paintball course would be one of the things we'd like to do. Maybe dirt carts, whatever it is. And that would be a once a month thing where we just get out, be around other people. I've found that I've learned a lot just by socializing with other people, networking. We'll also try to bring in experts So we'll have somebody speak, and they're an expert in whatever it is. It could be insurance, it could be tax, it could be banking, it could be whatever. It'll be an expert in that specific field. And I've got a goal to bring in a guy that's worth over $500 million. So I'm hoping we'll see if I'll be able to pull that off, but I'm hoping to. I also want to give you guys an opportunity to ride along. Again, I think that's a way to learn. And let's see here. So these are the things that would be included, which we just talked about. So that would include the monthly event, which we're doing for free, a weekly meetup, Rosebuds and Thorns, activities, experts, ride along. I always cover all the meals, and then we'll be doing mentoring, coaching. You'll have access to my contacts. And then if you have a spouse or a business partner, they would be included at no cost. And then if you do sign up and you want to do it, we would do a 2 times money back guarantee. So if you don't make at least double what you paid, I'll give you all your money back. And then we've got the fishing trip. So, yeah. So another thing that this would be an add-on if this is something you guys want to do. I found that some of my best conversations have been on a boat, and I don't really like fishing. Yeah, I know, kind of crazy. I like being on the boat and being with people. I'm not sure I'm totally into the guts and scales and all that stuff, but I do it. So this is the actual boat we'd go out on. And this is up in Ketchikan, Alaska. Shows some of the fun photos from some of the fishing trips we've done. Did a fishing trip in Florida, and then this one, the bottom, I can't tell which way. Bottom right is Ketchikan, Alaska, and then the top right is Nathan with the king. There was a king salmon. Yep. That was out of the. Where did we go? Remember? No. That was with Val Shiva. Columbia. Yeah, we did the Columbia. So I've already booked the spots, and so I'm inviting you to come if you want to come. There would be a fee for that if you're interested. Talk to Nathan or myself. It would be an all-inclusive trip. We'd cover airfare, transportation, lodging, meals, fishing rods, bait and tackle, private boat, and an expert fishing guide. I'm not the guide. That's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks again to Nathan and Nadia for help, and to the great bartenders. Thank you. So awesome.